Hello, I'm Roland Burke and welcome to The Dashboard powered by Nissan. The Week in Autos is a programme in which we discuss some of the more interesting stories from the car industry over the last 7 days. And I'm joined here in the studio by Coco Masters. Hi.
Hi, Roland.
So what have you got for us?
Well, last week we came to you from the Shanghai Auto Show looking at the luxury selection that they have. This week I thought we could focus on some of the hybrids, some of the EV selection that they do have, starting with BYD.
This is a domestic maker, isn't it?
Correct. It is the Chinese maker. And they have the S7 SUV. Now, this is an upgraded version of the S6, and it uses this G hybrid technology. Now, what does this mean? It basically helps to extend battery life and reduces fuel consumption to the tune of about 1.5 liters per 100 kilometers. And so it's BYD, and then also I think we've got Venucia. And Venucia, this is their concept car. This is the Viwa. Now, this is something that they hope to bring into production. It's going to follow up on the E30, which is an electric vehicle which is based on the Nissan Leaf because of the relationship, of course, between Dongfeng and Nissan and Venucia. And this is something that is going to help them to increase, the EVs that they've got in their pipeline because they do want to become the #1 EV Chinese maker.
And potentially China could be a big market for EVs, couldn't it? What else have we got?
Well, going from Venucia, we go to Volvo. Now, they're addressing a little bit of a different environmental concern, having basically to do with air pollution. So they're trying to protect the drivers and the passengers from very fine particulate matter. So they've developed an air conditioning system, filtering system, which gets rid of about 95% of these very, very fine particles, which we are seeing reported about very commonly now in general, world news. I mean, like China's got massive air pollution problems.
Yeah, the smog in China is well famous, isn't it? Let's see what a Volvo executive has to say about this.
What the system does is that it filters the air from the outside, it filters it through the cabin, and you get very clean air inside the cabin. So the driver and the passengers do not inhale the dirty air from the outside. So literally you're sitting in a cocoon of very clean air, irrespective of how dirty the air is outside.
The drivers are going to be moving in, aren't they, when it gets particularly smoggy in China?
When he says cocoon, I think you can kind of imagine it, because recent reports have said that air in Beijing and other major cities in China have basically levels of air pollutants that are about 40 times the recommended level. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, the Shanghai Auto Show continues through April 29th.
Now, General Motors, a big American car company, that's how we think of it, but they're actually very big in China as well, aren't they?
Yes, they're huge, and they're continuing to grow. Last year, they opened 2 new plants. They have announced that they want to open 4 new plants, and that's going to increase their vehicle production capacity by about 5 million cars.
That's in China?
In China, and it's going to allow them to triple their exports to about 300,000 vehicles.
And where are they taking the plants away from if they're building them in China?
Well, we've seen also recently in news, not only GM but Ford, they're having problems in Europe, and so we're going to see some of those plants closing and then focus really shifting to Asia. And
lots of brands, haven't they, GM?
Yes, they've got about 7 brands right now. So it's the Chevrolet Cruze hatchback, which we just saw. And they also want to increase the luxury offering. So they're going to try to build up Cadillac to increase sales by about 3 times what they are now, to about 100,000 by 2015. Now, they're launching 17 new and upgraded models in China, and really hoping to kind of get a better sense of the market and to keep competition up against other players such as VW, Volkswagen.
Because luxury, of course, that's the coming story in the China auto market, isn't it? That's what's happening.
It really is.
Now, Sebastian Vettel, what has he been up to?
Well, yes, the Infiniti Red Bull Racer, 3rd world time champion.
3 times world champion.
3 times world champion, yes. He was in Sochi, Russia, and Sochi, Russia right now is preparing for the 2014 Winter Olympics, and you can see him at the Olympic Park right now. He became the first F1 driver to get to test out this track. And this track, it's not complete yet, as you can see.
Very much not complete.
Yes, still a lot of mud on the roads. It's 3.7 miles long, and he's going around not only with his FX, his Vettel Edition FX, but I think with the M50 as well.
Now, the inaugural race is 2014, isn't it, after the Olympic Games? Should we, well, there they go. Should we see what Sebastian Vettel had to say about the track, having tried it out?
To really experience the track, you have to drive it. There's a couple of months, obviously, or yeah, a little bit more than 1 year to go before we get that experience. I'm looking forward to that, but I think by the looks of it, by the drawing, I think it could be a very interesting and challenging track with, as we mentioned, quite some fast corners. Hopefully plenty of places to overtake, so that the racing is quite exciting.
So that's Sebastian Vettel. It's not the only new track the drivers are going to have to learn, is it?
No, the 2014 season sees an additional 2 tracks coming on, so it's one in Sochi and then also one in New Jersey in the United States. But one thing that he mentioned during this press conference about having an opportunity to overtake, again, Sebastian Vettel, he's got 2 wins in Grand Prix, Malaysia just coming off one in Bahrain, so we'll see what he does in Spain in May.
Coco Masters, thank you very much indeed, and thank you for watching. That's it from me for now. You can see more of our content on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Nissan Newsroom. Goodbye.